Ryan.
You have to
Because
measure the light. You have to measure the light.
fundamentally, to live on a spinning ball, you've got to have both of them elements, and we haven't got them.
You have to measure the light of what
Except
you're
for
seeing.
all the measurements that all show exactly what you're saying they do not show.
Would you agree that
There
you're
is
seeing a
no
structure?
repeatable test anybody can do to measure that curvature. It always measures horizontal.
Hey,
No,
Dave,
it doesn't.
Dave, would you agree? Dave, would you agree with that though? You personally, would you agree with it, Dave?
What's that? That you see,
Well, we
you
have
see
we have no measurements or tests that we can do or have for
No,
curvature or movement of the Earth.
you measured above ground measurements, above ground. That's all that you've ever measured.
Yeah, but do you go with what Brian's saying? Do you believe that to be true, or do you agree with him?
No, I understand what above ground measures are. When you measure something above the ground, you're not measuring the ground. You're measuring the optical lens of what you're seeing in front of you.
So does that mean we do have measurements?
Well, you have measurements of space.
Right, and do they show curvature or movement?
No, they don't show anything but the amount of space versus the amount of light in your picture.
So the space that you're measuring, that's above the Earth, right?
Yeah, everything's
And
above.
and
When
that
you
and
get
that
off the ground, right? When you get off the ground, you're
yeah, I get it.
measuring space. You're measuring space in front of you.
Right, but that space, it follows the overall contour of the Earth, whether it be
Well,
flat or curved, right?
that's a spatial assumption. You're assuming that because you're looking through space.
Well, why wouldn't it follow the overall contour of the Earth? Why wouldn't it do that?
Because you can't see a curve below the horizon. Why would you think you can see something that's below your
But
eyesight?
you just said that we measure the space above the Earth, and you can measure. I asked you if it was curvature, and you seem to agree with that. And I'm just saying, well, then that's following the overall contour of the Earth would mean the Earth's curving. That's an indirect measurement of the Earth.
The only way you can measure the Earth's curvature is to physically measure the Earth. You can't measure the space. Why would you think you can measure the Earth in the space above it?
Well, you said it.
No, that's what you believe. That's what science teaches you, not me. I can.
Well, I'm not asking you what I believe. I'm asking if you think Brian's right.
No, Brian understands exactly what I'm telling you. He understands that the Earth is a horizontal plane for as far as we're concerned as a human species looking at where we live at.
Well, what about the measurements we have to show it not to be a plane, to be curved?
That's where your illusions begin.
Illusions.
Yes, your illusions.
Well, how do you know? How do you know this flat plane that you say you see isn't an illusion?
Well, it's because you can measure the difference between light and dark.
It's measurable.
So, what's that got to do with it? But you just said the measurements that we have of curvature are an illusion. So how do you know the measurements that you reckon you have of it being flat aren't an illusion?
Yeah, even a measurement above ground is going to be, even if you get it correct one day,
I know.
it'll change. It's still an illusion. It's an actual measurable. I would say that that would be considered an actual illusion measurement.
Well, you're not being fair. You're not applying your broken logic to your broken statement.
About what?
About measurements.
No, you cannot.
About measurements.
You cannot measure something unless you measure physically.
Right. And what about the physical measurements we have of Earth curvature?
You have no physical measurements of the Earth. There are no physical measurements. That's why I, as a flat earther, are probably the only one that tells you that. Okay, that's the understanding I have.
No, Brian's saying it too. You're not the only one. A lot of people have said it.
Brian is as smart as I am. He understands.
Well, I'm getting that. That much I understand clearly.
Yeah,
I
Brian's got-
understand. You
he's got
guys are about as
full-
smart as each other.
Yeah, Brian has full acknowledgement of the understanding of the reality we live in, right, Brian?
Yes,
So
sir.
the
And if we had this curvature, we should be able to verify it, and we can't.
There
well,
you go.
if you
See,
can't,
I told
it's a
you.
you problem. Why can't you?
Because it's
Every measurement that's been done has shown it to be exactly the opposite of what we're told.
These measurements that could be illusions. You could be
yes,
measuring an
they're-
illusion.
that you
According
tell
to
us
Dave,
that-
you could be measuring an illusion.
Yes,
is what Dave's saying.
Yes, you are measuring illusions. Exactly.
Well, you could be too.
No,
You
because
don't know that.
I understand the difference between an illusion and a measurement. That's where a flat earther separates itself from a true believer ball earther. Okay.
What's your difference between the two?
Well, because we understand
Insofar as measuring, hang on, insofar as measuring the Earth, what's your explanation for the difference?
You have to physically measure it to get an accurate idea of.
And how do you do that?
You take a piece of string and you measure it.
Brilliant.
Right. How do you do it with a piece of string?
So you actually have an answer to the question, how long is a piece of string, David?
Right.
We get stuck right here, so we might as well just turn back. We're at a dead end with a lot of you guys. So we'll just go back and get back up on the road, okay?
It's not a dead end, mate. It's because you stop. It's because it's a dead end.
Well, it's because you're only measuring one end of the string. You have to go to the other end.
Well, I'm asking you, how do you do this?
Ask
How long
Brian,
is this?
Ask Brian. Brian, will you explain to him what I'm trying to say?
Come on, Brian. How long's a piece of string?
From one end to the other. And yes,
Exactly.
this is
there you go, Doug.
physical measurement.
What unit
Where
is
the only
that?
thing you
One end to the other.
is optical measurements that are obviously distorted by the atmosphere. And it just so happens to be exactly the same rate of curvature, which is refraction, as the Earth's surface. But when it's checked physically,
Well, there you
there's no
go.
curvature. And by the way, let me just say this.
Physically
I
with
want
a
to thank you
piece of
all
string.
for doing this job, because
Physically.
I believe people that can see
blah, blah.
through your lies and deception, you turn them into flat earthers.
Yeah. Quick with
Just
the blah
by
blah.
your
Just stick to the point.
deception.
So this
So
physical,
I've got to
this
thank you for
physical
that.
measurement with the string. Thank you. No, I thank you. So this physical measurement with the string, how is it done exactly? So it's not an optical illusion.
It's like if you got out and you want to measure a parking lot and you get one of those things that you walk with it, and it's got a couple of wheels on it, and you push it across the parking lot, and it's got like an odometer on it. You ever seen those?
Yeah, I've used them.
Yeah, that's all you need to measure the shape of the Earth. Is you just need one of those.
Well, can you give me a step-by-step instruction? Because I've used one of those measuring wheels. I need a step-by-step instruction. Hang on, on how to determine curvature with one of those.
All right, let me explain to you how you do it, and don't interrupt, okay? You get
Try not to. Can I laugh?
You get a floating dock, right? Like a floating highway. And you put that floating highway on top of the water, okay? And then you put it to like an island, say 20 miles away. So the highway is floating on basically like a pontoon type drive, where you're driving across pontoons that are individually connected without very much sway in between each one. Okay, so as you're driving across, the wheels on your car start to turn, so your odometer on your car turns at the, it tells you exactly how many feet you've been from one end to the other. Are we on the same page?
Yeah, we're on the
Doing a
same
great
pontoon.
job, Dave.
All right, so now you're going to get back in the 70s. They built the car boat. Do you remember when they had those car boats? And it was like a car.
Boats with wheels.
You could drive it. You could drive it into the lake, and it would turn into a boat, and you could ride around the lake in your car. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yes, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like a little Corsair. It was a convertible, right? So you get in there, and it'd have a propeller.
Yeah.
So
A
what we're
boat
going
with
to
wheels.
do?
I got you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make one just a little bit better. We're going to make an underwater driving car that can follow the curvature of the earth under the water. So we get in the car, we drive on the bottom of the ocean, right? And if we see a point that's like deep, we just cross over at an equal rate of the distance, with going in a level direction. So we don't really have to worry about the ups and downs. We just need to worry about how many feet the wheel turns from one side to the other side of the lake. When we drive out of the lake, we have the measurement of the spin of the wheels of underneath the water and above the water, and then you will know if you're on a flat or round earth. That's the way you do it.
Fascinating.
Right. And this has been done, has it, David? Because you said you've got measurements, so this is what you've actually physically done.
This is called a thought.
No?
This is called the thought experiment of the answer that you're supposed to give if somebody asks you a question about what your thoughts are on the reality of the situation you're living in.
Oh my God, this is
Well,
like
I'm not asking for your thoughts and
Well,
illusions.
I'm not
asking you
gonna
for what you've
repeat.
actually done.
All right, ask Brian. Brian, did the explanation that I give would you say that it's a complete answer of what they asked?
Brian's just going to agree with you,
No,
mate.
but let's see what Brian's got to say. Brian, you there?
I think he's too busy laughing.
Well, give Brian a minute. He's contemplating it. He might have got up.
Go on, Brian, get your breath back and speak. Yeah, he must have split a gut, mate. I don't think he's coming back.
His wife is calling him.
She's probably laughing too.
All right, so you understood the answer, right?
I understood the thought experiment,
All
Dave.
right, so there you go. That's all you need to know.
It's not a problem.
Until we see somebody get in a car.
It's not a problem, though.
Until I see somebody get in a car and drive on the bottom of the ocean up to another island and tell me how many feet I went, I cannot tell you the shape of the earth until that's done.
what? This is the reverse of an airplane, David.
All right. So you can't tell us that it's flat then?
Well, no, I understand that you believe that the water.
No, you just said that. You can't tell us it's flat.
No,
you can't tell us the shape of the earth until someone's driven a car underwater.
Well, I mean,
what you said.
Well,
so you can't tell us.
I understand nobody's done it. So if nobody's done it,
well, then why bring it up?
Right? That means that either somebody forgot how to figure it out, or they're lying to you. One of the two.
You understand that no one's done it. Then why bring it up when I'm asking for stuff that's been done?
Well, you want the answer to how you know the shape of the earth, and I'm telling you.
You don't know the shape of the earth.
Yeah,
you said
you
can't tell us the shape of the earth. Hang on. You said you can't tell us the shape of the earth until someone's done that. No one's done it. By your own admission, you can't tell us.
Yes,
you fuck knuckle.
I gave you the thought experiment that somebody would have to do to give you the exact numbers.
I'm not asking for thoughts, mate.
No, it's the reality of the situation.
No. Oh, David.
All right, well, show me.
You're about as smart as Brian,
I've seen car boats, right? Do they have a vehicle that can drive on the bottom of the ocean with wheels?
No.
Okay.
But why are you asking me that? You just said they don't.
I understand. That's what I'm asking you. Have you ever seen a car that drives underwater?
Well, of course not.
Why not?
Unless it's in the movies. James Bond had one, didn't he?
I don't know. I've never seen one.
There you go. You don't know.
But that's the way. If you wanted to know the shape of the earth, that's the way you would do it.
Well, we've actually done things that do show it, mate.
Well, no, you do it. You do it in nautical miles. You do it above the water.
Do it
So
off
you have
the
a,
water,
you have a
David.
nautical you have a nautical mile you have a
Dave.
nautical mile perspective
Dave.
above water.
Dave, you've got some sort of brain rot, mate. You're stuck and you can't get out.
I'm not stuck.
You're in quicksand and it's up to your chin.
I'm not. You need to tell me where I'm wrong.
I have. You told us where you're wrong.
No, I already know the answer. I told you the answer. All you need to do is find.
Your
me
answer
somebody
was
that-
you can't. Your answer was you can't know the shape of the earth until someone's driven a car underwater.
Exactly.
And you said no one's done that. So the
Exactly.
logical, and it's not broken logic, the logical conclusion is you don't know. You don't know the shape of the earth.
No, I know how you would measure it. If you wanted to measure the shape,
You
of
know
the
how you would measure it, but that hasn't been done. And
Yeah.
no one's got the tools to do the way you say it should be done. So you don't know.
Well, no, I do know. You're just
Come on,
convinced.
David.
Well, no,
You're stuck, mate.
I would
You're stuck
say
and you don't understand it.
my thought experiment is probably like in the 98th percentile that the Earth is.
Can
flat.
you tell me, Dave, why you're so stuck?
I'm not stuck. It's my own idea, so why can't I think up my own answers?
Well, you can do what you like in your own head.
Well, so why do you think every answer is going to be in a book?
Well, you said it wasn't right. You said it hasn't been done.
It's like the. It's
So
like
you're
the,
saying you don't know. Mate, how many times do I have to repeat myself?
It's like the. It's like
Getting
the
boring.
moon illusion. Let me give you an example. At the moon illusion, you tell me that there's a
For
perspective.
fuck's sake, mate, come on.
No, I'm serious. That you say that the
No, you're
reason the
not.
moon looks big, the reason the moon looks big is because of what you see
Yeah,
in
no,
front
you're
of you.
not.
You are not serious.
We can't talk about it anymore. I'm tired anyway.
Good. I can understand why you're tired. You're very tired.
You've been told about the moon illusion, Dave. You've been told how to correct for the moon illusion. You've been told how to show that it's just an illusion. And for some reason, you don't want to do anything except say the same goddamn thing day after day after day.
There you go, Dave. You caught a
Well,
fish.
Driving, it's like
Congratulations.
driving a point home. Okay, you got a point. I've got a point. You've got a point. And for some reason, we can't seem to land on the same point.
Yeah,
Why
you're-
is
you're-
that?
You don't have a point, David.
because you're a dumb fuck, David. That's why.
No, it's no.
Your point is blunt, Dave.
No, my point is that you tell me one thing that I'm supposed to believe that I'm seeing an illusion.
Yes, and you can measure it, Dave. If you actually measure it, you'll find out that it stays the same size over the night. The fact
How
that it's
do
close
you-
to the rise, it's an optical illusion. Have you ever been familiar with optical illusions? Do I need to post some optical illusions for you?
No, I want to see where you measure the brain waves for that.
You don't measure the brainwave, Dave. You measure the size of the moon it's as simple as using a coin and a ruler.
Okay, so you're changing the perspective of what you're looking at by comparing it to an object you have in your hand.
Correct.
No,
The problem is that your brain interprets this object as being closer than it is because it associates it with the things you can see in the foreground. It is an optical illusion.
all right. If that was true, okay, let me go ahead and defeat you on this argument. Okay, we're just going to do it, and you need to understand. Because if there was a moon illusion, like you're claiming, there would also be a sun illusion.
The sun does appear larger when it's toward the horizon, so fuck off.
Exactly. So why is there? If I Google
The
right
same
now,
thing.
no, there is no information. If I Google right now, sun illusion,
Because you
is
can't
no
look at the
information.
sun. And
All right,
because
I'm
the
gonna-
sun has a
I'm gonna
glare.
Google it
The
right-
the
I'm
other
gonna Google
the
it
other
right
the
now.
other problem with the sun is that it has a lot of glare. So that it doesn't
hold
appear
on.
to be the same.
All right, I'm gonna give you. Let's look right now. Sun illusion. I bet
the-
there's nothing on. I bet there's nothing
Right,
on Google.
because the sun has a lot of glare. And there's another issue with the sun.
Let's see. Sun illusion.
One,
All
so now
right, sunsets are illusions.
that's bullshit. But
That's what it says right there. First Science Connected magazine. Okay,
Yeah,
so
what does it say?
we're on our second set of illusions. Okay, now we're
No,
on
we're
the
not.
moon
We're talking about the
illusion.
moon illusion. We're not going to talk about the sun illusion because it's something
We've got
totally
the
different.
sunsets are illusions is the
Yeah, well,
headline.
okay, and another.
The
Read it.
first
Read what they're saying.
circles are-
Read. If you know, this is the problem, Dave. You quote headlines and don't read what it actually says. But this is your shtick.
No, I Googled.
No, you. What does it say? Post the article. Post the article.
No, I Google
Post
sun.
the article.
Here we go. I'm gonna post it. But here, what we Googled was sun illusion. All right, here we go. Let me put it in the chat.
And you didn't read
Share.
the line after that, did you?
No, he didn't read anything after this. This is why I'm gonna.
We're gonna let somebody read it. Hold on a minute. I got it coming in here for you. All right, so somebody's gonna read to us what a sun illusion is. Here we go. All right, it's in the chat.
I'm talking about this Grimm's law. Grimm's law on this server, other people call it Tune's first law, is that all flat Earth citations disprove the flat Earth.
All right, so we're supposed to believe in these illusions. Is tensioner circle is an optical illusion of relative size perception named for the discoverer and German psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, 1850 to 1909. The illusion was popularized in the English-speaking world by Edward Tensioner. In 1901 textbook of experimental psychology, hence the alternative name is the best known version of the illusion. Two circles of identical size are placed near each other, and one is surrounded by large circles while the other is surrounded by small circles. Well, there you go. All right, who understands? Understood that? The corneal veil, the coronal veil, are the sun's magnetic arches of optical illusion. The coronal veil illusion. Have you heard of that? The coronal veil illusion. Do you understand what that is? This is what NASA's answer is. Why you're seeing this? It's the created with a simple model to illusion how the veil could produce the illusion of coronal loops. Who first discovered the sun? Did you know that there was a person that discovered the sun?
So circles is bigger. The orange circle's bigger.
Why do you think this explains the shape of the Earth? All right, we're
We
talking
didn't.
about.
We're talking about the sun.
Yeah, it's called the, like, you have moon illusions. You have something called sun illusions. The moon illusion is caused. What your explanation is that the moon illusion is caused by what you see in the foreground. Correct?
Correct. Close to the horizon.
Yeah, so that's why the moon appears bigger in your explanation of moon illusion, right?
And the sun when you're able to see the sun. Yeah.
No, the sun, that's not true. That's not what you tell people about the sun.
What? That it's an illusion. That you get sun flare and you're also able to. You think it's bigger, but it's not. It's the same
No,
size.
there is no moon illusion when they talk about. They do talk about it in that one article there where you had that one person come up with that story, right? That's the story that's being. It's 125 or 40-year-old Butch and what's the name of it? Hold on, let me go back.
The Ebbinghaus or the other one?
Yeah, the Ebbinghaus. That's a 140-year-old idea. It's out of date.
How's it be out of date? Is a wheel out of date because it's more than 140 years old?
We're not talking about a wheel. We're talking about an idea.
Good Lord, give
What?
him something you can look directly at. You can see that the one surrounded by the small spots looks larger. And he says, oh, I don't believe that. That's out of date. He's dumber than a box of hair.
No, because you don't claim that you're seeing the sun look larger because of what you're seeing in the foreground. That's not your answer. Okay.
Go talk to your dog, Dave.
It's not the answer in the globe Earth is not the perspective of what you're seeing in your foreground like it is with the moon illusion.
Why do we bring it up, Dave? Why is it brought up in the discussion?
Because you don't have that as the answer. Okay.
No. Why do we talk about it at all?
Because you say these are the main two answers that have to be given for you to start your explanation of the globe Earth.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's only brought up because we say that if the sun was local, you would expect it to get bigger, and the same with the moon.
Your measurements of the Earth's size is from this Ebbinghaus explanation of reality.
Where does it say that?
No.
Yes, your whole perspective of your illusions begin with Ebbinghaus telling you that you're seeing an illusion.
No.
Yes.
Personally, I think the first idea that the Earth was a curved was when ships disappeared over the horizon.
No, we're not talking about that. That would be one after the Ebbinghaus.
Sure we are.
After the Ebbinghaus theory, right? Would be your explanation.
Which do you think people saw first? Ships disappear over the horizon or the Ebbinghaus illusion?
Yeah, that's how Ebbinghaus put the two and two together, right? That would have been A, like exhibit A.
No.
Yes, it would be exhibit A,
No.
and then exhibit B would be the horizon. All right, so you got exhibit
No.
A, exhibit B, and then the sun would be exhibit C.
No.
Yes. Sorry, man. You lose these conversations by saying no.
Well, show me anything that backs up what you just said.
All right, because of what you see and consider an illusion.
Not what you think. Not what you
No.
think. Show me something that says that we thought Ebbinghaus was the answer to the size of the Earth or the shape of the Earth.
Because you tell me that the moon and the sun are larger because I've seen an illusion. So your measurements are illusionary measurements, correct?
No.
What? How you? The 2 + 2 = 4. Don't be telling me it's 5.
The discussion of this is just to answer people saying, why does it appear bigger? That's all this is about.
It appears bigger because you're seeing it bigger.
Yeah, but doesn't mean it is bigger.
No.
No, that's why you're trying to convince me I'm seeing an illusion.
Well, did you check those 2 orange dots on the screen? Is one bigger than the other?
No, I don't want to. You try to play an illusion. You're playing an illusion game with me.
We're talking about illusions, and you don't like us to talk about illusions.
Yeah, the illusion is where when you have an illusion, then you're taking an illusion is a false perspective, right?
Correct.
Sorry, distracted there for a sec. Could you say that again?
Okay, okay, let's spell this out simply for David. Hey, Dallas, are you fucking listening? The moon at the horizon appears to be larger because it's an illusion. If you turn your body so you could view, so you're viewing the moon upside down, it will appear to change in size. It will get smaller. How about fucking that?
Hold on, I'll be back.
Because our statement is it's the same size, and people say no, it gets bigger. And we're saying it doesn't.